This is not financial advice. Crypto.XL. All right, guys. So looking at the market today, retail is definitely back in full effect. As we can see that the DGen meme coins are pumping. They're pumping out of this world. Look at Floki up 70%, Pepe 34, with Dog with Hat 26%, Bonk and Shib in the rear. So definitely there's a lot of people coming back into the market slowly but surely. Ever since Bitcoin has broken all-time highs. So today we flirted with all-time highs again. We actually went up to 70K today, a little over 70. We put it on a daily. So this would be yeah, it shows 70 here. It depends on the exchange that you checked at, because I did see it at 70,300 somewhere. But we definitely breached 70,000 today. So a few days back on March 5th, we broke all-time highs. We hit like 69,179. Then we were rejected down to 59,400. Which was a great buying opportunity. Ever since then, we've been slowly climbing up, and today we've breached the 69,000 and we hit 70,300. And this chart is currently showing around 70,088. But I don't mind if we just hover around here a bit. I think that would be healthy. We don't need to break this pattern anytime soon. The longer we hover here, actually, the healthier it is for the market. Because what I believe is happening is that we're building up a tremendous amount of momentum. And when that momentum is let go, we're going to propel forward. And within a very short period of time, Bitcoin could explode and go up by a lot, a huge percentage, right? So the longer we stay here is the more momentum we build up to propel forward. And do remember that we have those 9 Bitcoin ETFs that are fueling all of this, right? So every time there's a dump, it's hard for the market makers to completely dump this, because there's so much buying pressure from the ETFs. There's 401k access to the investments now, and the 401k money is quite substantial. And I think this is just the beginning. Once more and more people find out how easy it is to put their retirement funds into crypto, instead of choosing like traditional stocks, more and more investors are going to put like 1%, and then it's going to be 2%, and then one day it will be 5% of their retirement portfolios into Bitcoin, and eventually Ethereum when the Ethereum ETF gets passed and accepted this year. And in May, I believe the deadline is May for the Ethereum ETF, right? For the first one, right? That's going to open the floodgates to other ETFs. And if the Ethereum ETF gets passed, which it will, that will then open the floodgates for the top 10 altcoins, like, the top 10 layer ones. This could open the floodgates for Solana, ADA, Matic, and the like. So 2024 is going to be a really, really interesting year. It's already pretty interesting, right? It's going to continue to amaze. If we look at the stock to flow model from Plan B, you can see that it looks like we're heading back to this orange line here. This orange line has Bitcoin at over 100K. So if this vision comes true, that means that getting used to a Bitcoin above 100K is something that is actually possible. Second thing too is, once we leave this range that we're in, Bitcoin at 70,000, we might not see this range for a very, very long time. This might be a thing where you tell your grandkids, like, yeah, I was around when Bitcoin was 70,000. You know, as strange as that sounds, that's actually a possibility. It's possible that once we start blasting off, that we really blast off and we leave all of this behind, and we don't see these kind of numbers for a very long time. No one knows what's going to happen, because especially once we break all-time highs, which we have, predicting what's going to happen at that point becomes a lot less likely for it to be accurate, right? I can say what's most likely to happen, and which is what I've been doing this entire time. And those things have actually come true. But again, the further we get away, the further we go into like uncharted waters, meaning that we break all-time highs, which we've done, and the further we get away from the 70,000, literally anything can happen at that point. But my gut feeling is that the buying pressure from the ETFs are going to be enough to continue to propel Bitcoin forward substantially. And I do feel that we're going to experience something that we've never seen before. I think that the chart patterns that we're used to are going to get changed. They're going to get, look, this thing is becoming institutionalized, okay, which means that it's going to start following the rules closer of traditional assets, such as the assets in the stock market. I believe like its overall valuation as far as where we're going and where we're headed is going to be unprecedented, and it's going to be higher than the assets in the financial markets, higher than the assets in the traditional financial markets. But that all being said, a couple years from now, instead of having those, 80% drawdowns in the bear market, that might not happen anymore. It might start becoming a more stable or more easier to chart, as in the movements become not as volatile in the future. But we're at the point now, we're at a juncture right now where it's going to get extremely volatile, right? I think we're going to get extremely volatile with huge candles to the upside, right? And it's going to take us like a year to stabilize. Huge candles to the upside is going to be so high that we're going to, when we wick down, it's going to be substantial, and then we wick back up and it's going to be substantial. But not right now. I'm talking about after we get away from the 70K and we start going higher up, right? So it's definitely going to be interesting. And another thing too is that we're used to having 40% drawdowns in the bull market. I don't think we're going to have that until we get far, far away from 70K, right? So, and I have to also say if, right? I have to say if we get far, far away, but I feel that we will. I feel that we will. I feel that we'll have the traditional 4-year cycle, meaning that the time period is similar, but I think the valuations might be a lot higher, but plan for both, by the way, have a plan for both. Have a plan for if we fall, what you're going to do. Have a plan for if we boom, what are you going to do? So plan B, an analyst in the space for a very long time. His vision and his ideas are respected. He did come up with this stock to flow model, and he put out an alert that we've received our first red dot. What the red dot means is that it's a period of fast acceleration and level 3, going to level 3 in the Bitcoin bull market, where we get a fast acceleration to the upside. That's what happens during the red dots. If you look at these two prior cycles that you see here on the chart, once we received a red dot in 2013, we pretty much doubled in a couple months, right? And then we continued here. It turned orange and then yellow, and then yellow is when we started going to the bear market, and green. And by the way, dark blue was the best time to buy, right? The lowest price in a cycle, in a 4-year cycle. So red dot here in between 2016, 2017, we started accelerating quickly to the upside. Once we reach a peak, we cool out, yellow, and we start coming back down, right? So So what does this mean? This means that this means that this is I'm looking at the years down here. This is an outdated chart. But that all being said, we still also did hit the red dot, even though I don't believe this is the correct chart for it. But we did hit a red dot recently, right? And we know we've hit the red dot territory because we've broken the 70K, right? We've broken the all-time highs, which was 69K, right? So today we've gone higher than that. We've gone to 70K. And what this means is after we break the all-time highs, traditionally, we have about a month where we go sideways. And then after that, we go parabolic, meaning we almost double or price in a short period of time, right? So I'm not sure if we're going to go fully double because double 70K is 140K, right? And it takes a lot as you go higher and higher up. It takes a lot more capital to get to a double, right? And money would have to come in really, really fast. And that all being said, I think that we're on the verge within a couple months of breaking 100K, and I think that is going to be amazing, breaking 100K. And for those of you who've packed your bags, I think you're in for one heck of a trip. I think it's going to be really exhilarating. It's going to be something we've never ever seen before. And so my Patreons have their bags packed already, and we've already seen huge gains. And we have the cryptos that are going to be outperforming in this market. Not financial advice, just my opinion. If you look at the caliber and quality of the projects that we have, like Solidus AI, I was calling this way back. It's about a 10x on this. Agix is one of the leaders in the AI narrative. It's going to be really, really big. It's going to be, I was going to say a top 100. It's going to be top 50 coin and climbing. Heroes of Mavia, we were dollar cost averaging for quite a while. So we've gotten this at a very, very low price. This could end up doing something like a Gala Games, and it has, $223 million market cap, but this could go into the billions, right? WorkX, we were DCAing for a long time. I was going to say a long time ago. It's only been a few months, but it does feel like a long time ago because it was red for quite a while, right? But look at what on the 7 days, it's up 45%, right? So when this goes back to all-time highs, this is where you get like those, the 300% and these kind of hundreds of percentage of returns, right? So getting these hundreds of percentage returns, if you go and see my prior videos and the price points where I was talking about these projects that I was investing in them, you would see that this is a normal thing on this channel to get those kind of returns. So yeah, the gems are doing well according to plan. We DCA in slowly. It's not a rush. We're not in a rush. We're taking our time. And when Bitcoin goes over 100K, we really don't need to be, we don't need to be like panicking or worrying, what are we going to do? How do we get a position? How do we get in at this point? Because all coins are 5x, they've all 5x. So how do we get in? Nothing's cheap anymore. Everything is just so high. So how do we get in? That's not going to be us because we planted our seeds a long time ago. So we're going to be ready for harvest. And it's ironic because spring is almost on us, right? Spring is almost sprung. And so we're going to be right in time. And the weather's going to be nice. It's going to be nice out. And we're going to be basking in the green sunlight, right? So this is very, very, very soon that this could happen, right? I mentioned Bitcoin doing what it does for a month. That hopefully it takes a month. I think it's going to start moving a lot faster than that, though. I think it's going to move really, really fast. It could happen at any moment. You could go to sleep and then you wake up and then you're at 80 something thousand, and it's like, when did that happen, right? And actually, for the record, I don't even want that to happen yet. I'm patient. I'm willing to wait, right? Just like we mentioned with DexCheck, I was I did so many videos where I mentioned DexCheck in the video, and I'm like, I don't really need this to go up right now. Let's keep on accumulating. And it's fine with me to continue accumulating a solid project that's undervalued, that I know is going to rip because it has all of the juice. It has all of the sauce. It has everything that's necessary to be a champion, right? So I want to continue to accumulate the champions when it's low and continue to build my position. I don't need it to do a 5x today. I want to take my time and just because these things that just pop up like that, they come down just like that, and that's not really what my aim is. My goal is to build life changing positions by 2025, right? Now, if one of my coins during 2024 ends up going to 80x, guess what, guys? I'll probably take some profit, right? If that happens, then I'll probably, most likely I will take some profit at that point. But then again, I don't need it to do that. I'm willing to wait to 2025. It's fine, right? But yeah, I mean, everything is going according to plan. And for those of you that have tuned in to the channel and you would like some more alpha, what coins that are really good projects that are at a discount right now? Well, look at Caspa, right? Caspa is cooling off for a while. It's at 15 cents. But the majority of the crowd don't want to buy a coin when it's down. The majority, they don't want to buy Caspa when it's at 15 cents right now. They're going to wait until it's 20 cents or 21 cents, and then they'll start buying, right? So Casper is a solid project. It's attacking the trilemma of being fast and being decentralized, and being a utility and good at what it does. So it's a good L1, and I think it has a bright future. It's down 7% on the weekly. So DCA wise, it's not a bad move. It's not a bad look. If you look at Conflux, it's down 6%. BitGet's down 7%, and the list continues. Algorand's been quiet actually this bull run. I remember this was at 8 cents. I think that's when I was picking some of this up. But yeah, so these cryptos are definitely some good cryptos. The Patreons have been getting the absolute gems, super low cap gems that are going to be crushing the cycle. They have already shown what they can do. I mean, DexCheck, from when I was getting in DexCheck, for me, that was like a 15x. And then I kept on buying. So I'm also like 7x, and I'm also like 4x and 3x. Like I just kept buying because I know what the potential of that project is, right? So yes, getting in at a good price for an undervalued project that's going to 10x in the bull run, in early part of the bull run, the parabolic phase. It's a very simple plan, very simple plan. But the Patreons, again, they continue to see green, right? The ones that are red, we just DCA in because we know it's going to happen. If you're not part of the winning team, you should probably join the winning team, because right now it's just clockwork. How we're moving is kind of obvious, right? Because the fear and greed index right now, greed is at 88. Remember, it's been green for quite a while, and usually it doesn't last in this zone for too long. And it's been here for quite a while. So, which goes along with my theory that there's been a paradigm shift, and I don't think anyone realizes it yet. What's really happening here is that Bitcoin is being propped up by the ETFs. So as far as it falling back down to certain price points in these mega crashes, I think that we're going to see a different kind of bull run than we've seen before. Doesn't mean it cannot fall, right? Because we've seen that with this wick, right? It went from went from 69K to 59K. That's a $10,000 wick, right? So that's $10,000 of volatility in one day, right? Um, that all being said, that is, yeah, it's a 15% volatility in one day, right? So 15% volatility after touching all-time highs, right? Last time it touched all-time highs, um, from breaking from bear to bull, last cycle, the drops were a lot steeper. They're 40% drop. So that's a 40% drop, and this is actually that was a 50% drop because that was the COV drop. It was close to the COV. So COV went all the way down to 70%. First it was 50%, and COV happened and it went down to 70%, right? So on average, let's say a 40% drop after touching all-time highs from the prior cycle. So this time is 15%, right? So what does that tell you? It tells you that moves to the downside don't seem to be as powerful as they used to be. In other words, it seems like we're stabilizing a bit more, right? For Bitcoin, in Bitcoin terms, right? So um, since I'm betting with my money, I'm betting on staying in the market for quite some time and seeing how this plays out. I think there's more room for the upside and more upside than downside. So I'm going to continue to put my chips on this side, and making what I feel is the correct decision, and moving forward with this bull run to double, triple, triple, and to multiply my investment, like a magic wand. That's what I'm going to continue to do here. So this has been Crypto.XL with your daily update. Um, I'll try to come on every day and, just give my insight. Shout out to the Patreons and everyone that support the channel. And I'll make sure that I continue to bring you more info and some more altcoins, some gems. And I will see you next time. Hey, that was the part where the music was supposed to play. Crypto